we're going live now, ladies. We got Nelly. Yeah, we're live now.
So what's up, B3B Boxing? We got a special guest, our first guest, a homie I've been knowing for 20 years plus, homie Nelson.
Big 3 Boxing coming live at you from Toucan's Tavern as always. We got our Puerto Rican homie right here, Nelson. Big Nelly now, Puerto Rican Nelson. And we got a special edition today because you know what, we're Mexican and a lot of our followers are too, and but we've always been curious because you know how it is within the rivalry. They think the greatest rivalry in boxing, I think, would be Puerto Rico versus Mexico. I think that's in my opinion. I don't know about you guys. You know, when it's gonna be Puerto Rico versus Mexico, it's gonna be a fucking war. It's gonna be putazo. So
and you know what it is? It's like, you know, they're both, you know, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans are warriors, and they're gonna go at it. They're not gonna be running around and doing stuff. They're gonna go at it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Stuff, you know?
And then just to just the fact that impresses me about Puerto Rico is that it's such a tiny island,
and
how many goddamn big old warriors that they produce, you know. So that's pretty dope, you know. So we wanted to ask him a couple of questions about.
But before we get started, hey, you know, Tony said he wasn't here because you played with him in basketball. He said he wasn't here because he has a basketball game. Did you guys have a basketball game?
Yeah, you talking about, man.
You guys don't have a basketball game?
Talk to the camera a little bit.
I have a basketball game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Tony, you're bullshitting or what?
Yeah, so Big 3 Boxing might have a replacement. If we get higher ratings with this motherfucker, we might fucking replace Tony, piece of shit.
I look at it this way. I'm gonna say it like this: it's better that he's not even there because he's been missing a shot. He's been cold. He's been off. I mean, he's garbage right now.
He says he's got the skills.
He did. He fell off. Just honest. We're talking real. You fell off.
Fucking Tony, you've been lying to us this whole time.
You're like 69 right now. You're no good in the game. Your words don't mean nothing.
Hey, he's probably practicing right now. He's probably
practicing getting crossed over by these 14-year-olds and shit. Yeah, man, that's some.
I think the 14-year-olds are a lot taller than me anyway.
But today, what we wanted to do was a special. We did a Mount Rushmore of Mexican fighters. What we thought was our top 4. We wanted to see what the Mount Rushmore of Puerto Rico would look like, and we wanted to see what you guys' opinion is too. At the end of the day, you know. So,
yeah, comment and let us know what you guys think or who your top 4 Puerto Rican fighters are.
So I mean, I think this is only right if we let Nelly now start off with his top 4. Of all time from Puerto Rico, since you're Puerto Rican.
It's not easy, but go ahead.
So
who do you got first?
I got it like this. I mean, in my top tier in Mount Rushmore would be Trinidad. You got Trinidad Cotto.
Tito Trinidad, Cotto.
Benitez. And I gotta give it up to my man Macho Camacho. Come on.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But he was a great fighter. He did a lot of. He won a lot of wars.
That was his record.
79 wins.
I mean, you're talking about 79 and only 6 losses. Yes. You're talking about a good ratio there between that and that. Yes, 3 draws in that.
But that's fine.
We're talking about 80
and
fights.
Sugar Ray Leonard came back to fight him thinking it was going to be an easy fight, and he got smoked.
Yeah, smoked.
Camacho smoked his ass.
Yeah.
So
you Sugar Ray Leonard, right? He retired Sugar Ray Leonard, I think,
yes.
Right?
You can't take away from that animal. Macho Camacho was an animal in the ring. I think so. I mean, when I saw his videos, I wasn't live there to see him because I'm only 37. But when you look at the classics and stuff like that, that guy was an animal. He was just crazy.
And who else did you have?
Cotto. You have Cotto, Trinidad, Benitez, and Macho
Benitez. Okay, yeah. So I mean,
Benitez was a real deal too.
I mean, I got a similar list myself, but my list, I got Edwin Rosario. The man was a beast. He was 47-6 with 41 knockouts. He fought twice with Jose Luis Ramirez from Mexico, which was fucking absolute wars. If you guys haven't seen those, you guys got to go back.
Check him out.
Go to YouTube. Check him out. Jose Luis Ramirez versus Edwin Rosario, part 1 and 2. Fucking badass fights. They split the 1-1. So, and then I also got Wilfredo Gomez. The man was a fucking animal. He was 44-3 with 42 knockouts when he retired. And 2 of those losses was one of them was to Salvador Sanchez, and the other one was to Asuma Nelson. And you know what? I mean,
those 2 are Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? So his losses is like.
And of course, I got my boy Felix Tito Trinidad. Just like I agree with him on that. The man retired with 42. 3 and 35 knockouts.
Knocking everybody out.
I think that. Well, I mean, look, his only 3 losses are Winky Wright, Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins, and they came later in his career. I think he lost 3 out of his last 5 or 6 fights.
And the Roy Jones Jr. He was already old.
Oh yeah, and he was moving up. He was way out of his weight class.
If you remember his body structure when he fought De La Hoya,
right?
I mean, he was very firm. He was prime time. But when he fought Roy Jones Jr., don't mind. I don't take anything away from Roy Jones Jr. He was, he was over.
Right.
But
and he had to move up in weight.
Exactly. He had to move up in weight. And Trinidad, when you look at his body structure, he was more like a fatty. He wasn't like the good structure fighter when he was fighting these prime guys at his weight level.
Right.
So I wouldn't. It's a loss. Yeah, of course, it's a loss. We take it as a win. We take it as a loss. At the end of the day, you learn from that and you move on. But again, that was late in his career, and you got to move away from that. And again, he was.
And then my number 4 on my Mount Rushmore for Puerto Rico, for me, that would be Miguel Cotto. I mean, the man. He's the most recent.
I think he's my favorite fighter.
He's the most recent Puerto Rican fucking old school. He's a throwback fighter.
Power.
And you know what? He was 41-6 with 33 knockouts. I mean, he had a lot of notable fights: Margarito, Mayweather, Canelo, Pacquiao. He was like an old school fighter.
Let's give a fact that when Mayweather fought him, it was after he already had taken some losses.
Oh yeah.
Before that, Cotto wanted to fight Mayweather, and Mayweather did not want to fight him, and that's a fact.
Yes.
Right.
He did the same thing with Pacquiao. He been dodging. Again, I don't take anything from Mayweather.
He's an all-time great.
Yes, he's an all-time great. But Mayweather, again, he's more of a technical fighter. He knows when to fight people. He will not fight people when they're right at the prime. With the exception of Canelo. Now, Canelo...
But it was too early.
He was too early. He was inexperienced.
Yeah,
he was way over his head.
Right.
And I don't think he had the proper, the proper people guiding him.
Yeah.
And tell him, hey, dude, you know what? I think you need to chill. You need more experience. You got to get your mental focus ready for him because he's more of a technical fighter.
Right.
Styles make points, and he's more of a point man. You can't really hit a guy who's like, shoulder like this. It's hard to hit somebody like that.
Although Maidana gave him a run for his money, Maidana was just going
But going back on the Cotto fight, it was not easy for Mayweather. He got beat up, and some rounds he took a beating. He was bloody and everything.
So what's your Mount Rushmore?
My close to of course I think Cotto's my favorite Puerto Rican fighter of all time. I think he's
top notch.
Yeah, he's top notch. And then Trinidad, of course, the top 2. And I gotta go with Macho Camacho. I think he put in a lot of work. He deserves to be in Mount Rushmore. And I say Wilfredo Gomez.
Right.
That's my top 4.
Oh man, we got similar lists except for I left out Macho Camacho because it's just hard. Puerto Rico has so many big champions in their history, and they produce. It's funny how they just produce so many champions.
And let's give a shout out to Danny Garcia, and he's not there yet, but he's possibility that he can be there before he retires.
Right.
He has a great resume.
Yeah, yes, he's Puerto Rican American, but he's Puerto Rican. Let's not fuck around.
He does have a great resume. He's 30 something in 30 something in 2. Okay, we could talk about the same thing. We're talking about Canelo. He has about the same amount of record with 2 losses. Do not give up on Danny Garcia.
I mean, look, the man's only 35-2 with 21 knockouts, but look at who the fuck he's fought.
Yeah,
he's fought the likes.
He has a real great resume. I mean, you got Sean Porter.
You go all the way back, dog. You go to fucking Amir Khan back in 2014. You go to Kendall Holt back in 2015.
The legend Eric
Nate
Morales.
Campbell when he was in 2009. So if you go back to it, if you look at Danny Garcia's fucking resume,
and this was a huge win when he fought Matisse.
Oh my God, Matisse was a monster.
That was a big.
I think Matisse was a monster.
And he was underdog. Danny Garcia was
the underdog. Yes,
I
mean, I bet you Vegas had their. They had a loss. Like, oh shit, we have to pay all these people.
Yeah, so you know what? But Garcia might make it one day to the Mount Rushmore. I don't see why not. But I mean, who are you gonna boot out? Well, that's a question for the future.
Let's see how his career turns out.
Ends out.
And then it'll be probably. Man, it's tough, man. We'll talk about it when it comes.
So what we wanted to ask Nelly Nell over here is what, like in a Puerto Rican's point of view, what was your most satisfying victory? Like from a Puerto Rican boxer beating a Mexican boxer, like that you can remember from childhood or whatever, or your parents or your uncles talking like, hell yeah, we fucking got this motherfucker. Like, which fight was it that where you guys said, all right, That's a fucking Puerto Rico fucking all-time fight, right?
Yeah, I remember this fight. In fact, we saw that fight. I want to say it was with. Was that?
The Trinidad de Hoya?
Yeah.
My God.
So Trinidad de Hoya, that was the most memorable and most satisfying fight for us because I remember these guys. Oh, De La Hoya was gonna beat his ass, and again, I love De La Hoya.
Do you think that was a solid win for Trinidad?
Yeah. What here?
It was a little controversial.
Here, controversies you may say so, but what De La Hoya thought.
He had it in the bag.
He had it in the bag and he ran around in the last final round.
That is true.
He did. Which he shouldn't have. He should have kept fighting. He should have closed the show.
The thing is, like, De La Hoya started off super fast. I think he won like the first 5-6 rounds, like that.
I would say he won 7 out of the fucking 12, but I mean, the fact is that the judges, the last taste in their mouth was, him running around.
Yeah, I agree. It left a bad taste in their mouth.
But you know what? It's still in my heart. That was still kind of too close to get. If anything, should have given it a fucking drop, but not to. But anyways, But that was you guys were celebrating.
Oh yeah, we celebrated.
Besides
that,
it doesn't have to be Mexican. Who do you think? Okay. For yourself.
For me, the biggest win of all, Puerto Rico, and it's not Mexico. Nicaragüense, Mayorga. He was a big shit talker.
Mayorga.
He was a big shit talker. And the problem was with him, he just talked a lot of shit. And it really left a bad taste in people's mouth. Yeah. He did the same thing with every other fighter. And when he knocked his ass out, I was like, yeah. I mean, he was just a big shit talker. And I was just satisfied because,
hell yeah.
If you could talk shit and bring it, fine, so be it. So be it. Yeah. But you leave a bad taste in people's mouth when you do that, and you don't perform the way you should be, or you're at your standing. Matter of fact, I remember a fight where you were smoking a cigarette. Like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
you're a professional.
That's when he knocked out.
Vernon Forrest.
Vernon Forrest was the number one guy twice.
Yeah,
no, he didn't knock him out twice.
No, they beat him twice.
Yeah.
And by Forrest had just come out of beating Mosley. Remember?
Yeah, so that was a big win for him. But that
was it.
I agree.
He's smoking a cigarette. I mean, you're
being a clown.
You're a fighter. You're not even taking this guy seriously. When I fight somebody, I don't underestimate you can be tall, small. I don't underestimate any fighter. You give me respect.
What about most that you can remember the loss that hurt the most against a Mexican fighter, like a Puerto Rico versus Mexico fight? Which one was fuck?
Cotto Margarito.
Margarito?
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
That was a big upset.
Even though he had cheated a little bit.
Hold up, before we get there. Because Cotto, right there, dude, we already knew he was like, oh, this is the one.
He was winning that fucking whole fight.
He was the one. He's the chosen one. After Trinidad, he was the chosen one because there was no other fighter other than Trinidad. There was nobody else except Cotto. Cotto started bringing up at the level of where he was fighting and where he was coming from. There was nobody else. Right. And when Cotto fought Margarito, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? But the vengeance came.
Oh yeah.
He fought him. They checked the gloves, and you can see the aftermath.
Yeah.
Margarito was fucked up.
Yeah, after that. I think he's having trouble with his eye still. I think he's fucked up from the eye forever. So, I mean,
we always knew that Cotto had the most powerful puncher. I mean, he knocked guys out.
And he was fighting prime time, Sab Judah, Mosley, and he was beating everybody,
Fuck, even the Pacquiao fight was a fast fight.
If you look back, Sab Judah, if you guys remember, Sab Judah, people underestimate him. Zab Judah, if you can recall the fight with Mayweather.
Oh, he was fucking him
up. He dropped him. Mayweather, if you can recall that fight, he dropped him. But the ref was like, oh no, no. Yeah. I saw that.
No.
He rocked him. I'm like, wait.
I gotta say, Sab Judah was a fast motherfucker. I think he was the king of the first 4 rounds. He would fuck everybody up in the first 4 rounds. He would light everybody up. That fool. But he would gas out. His stamina was not there. But I still respect to Sab Judah.
Same thing with Canelo. We know Canelo in the middle round, he gases out.
Right.
And he learned how to get his stamina and learn how to get the agility back. He's learning that. And he learned that with Triple G. Yeah. He fought him.
The second fight?
Oh my God, that was a fight. I think it was a great fight. I think they both gave us a good show. So I give it up for both of them, seriously.
Yeah, so any shout outs to your homeboys from the East Coast?
Ooh, man, shout out to my family up in New York. My homeboys out there, y'all know where y'all at. Busher, Brooklyn, stand up. I love you guys. You represent. Y'all stay up. We'll see you again, hopefully.
Yeah, pleasure having you here today. It was a good insight on what a Puerto Rican fan thinks. I've always wanted to pick their brain because
don't get it mixed up. I'm Caribbean, so I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Cuban. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Dominicano.
I'm still, hey. But yeah,
Dominicano.
And that stigma that everybody talks about, Puerto Ricans looking around Mexican. I don't know who you talking about.
What the fuck? Look, we're right here and shit.
Nah,
one of my best friends. My best friends are Mexican.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with people having like. I've always gone along with Puerto Ricans.
I just love that our boxing rivalries and shit. Like every time we both get up, or every time there's a fucking Puerto Rican, a badass Puerto Rican was a badass mix. Like there's gonna be a fucking war. So
I've never run into a Puerto Rican I had an issue with. I've always been cool with Puerto Ricans.
Nah, they're cool as fuck.
Puerto Ricans are cool.
So till tomorrow, actually. So this was just a special edition. Tony fucking was missing today, but we wanted to. It's a good thing he was missing. Fuck you, Tony. Good thing you were absent today.
Hey, you're lying. You're lying.
Twice your ankles, you fuck. So tomorrow we're gonna come at you with fucking Tony and see what his bullshit excuse was. So stay tuned for tomorrow episode. Hit the like button, share,
talk
and
your shit,
subscribe, and tell all your homies. Share us. Till next time. Big 3 boxing, baby. Salud.
Salud.
I think that was a good 15, 16 minutes. Damn, 16:47, dog. 16:20.
Good shit.
I think so.